saying that my experience in terms of Shaolin monks has only been what I've seen on TV. And I just thought that would be interesting to see how a ballet company would apply some of the principles of what the Shaolin monks deal with daily. I think one of the things when I was researching what this piece would be about was breath, I think, and also finding strength through breath and finding, I guess, movement would be something that would be part of that. I don't know.
I think Alonzo King's looking for contrast in the broader sense is East and West. A huge tradition started 520 AD with Shaolin Temple, and here's a contemporary ballet. That kind of contrast and with the traditional robes of the monks and the very review of the unitar of the body, feet, legs, everything. But there's a big contrast in that sense. But at the same time, there's a lot of similarity, as you mentioned, because Shaolin Kung Fu start with based on yoga a little bit, because their first master is from India. They basically for self-defense start with, and it's about chi flow, like you mentioned, energy flow, how that works. And it's the same thing, dance. We talk a lot about energy and the flow of energy in the class, and I think it's the same. And also they mention about opposition, which we talk about in class too.
Right.
You go into one direction in order to go in the other direction. Same thing we do plie to go up. I think it's a lot of things taken in. At the same time, there's a great contrast with it.
Seems like that then would be the perfect marriage for a ballet is what Alonzo's concepts are in terms of the line,
Yes,
the beauty, the contrast that you talked about. I find that always his collaborations seem to bring a different culture, a different sense of art to our American sensibilities, and one of the things that I've seen him talk about is humanity. So there's a sense of common humanity that he brings out through his dance, and I think that what you're talking about will be a perfect blend with the concepts that he naturally works with his dance.
Yes, exactly. I find that I almost find that he's a culture ambassador in some kind, because he collabed with a group from Central Africa, the tribe people, and musician from North Africa, and Hinduism vocalist. Now is a Chinese. It's all the different religion background, all the different culture, but he can put those people together, and give us a message almost like we are different people. We have different religion, we have different background, but we have something in common. We are human beings, and we can be on the same stage.
I saw a quote where he talks about the communication and how he likes to use the body to communicate. And I think he sets up a series of challenges. I would imagine for his dancers, I've never worked with Alonzo, but I think he would set up a series of challenges, giving them choices to make. And that's a form of communication between him and his dancers. And then the dancers in turn will communicate the ideas to us as an audience.
Right.
And I think that's groundbreaking, that we can have sort of that synthesis of classical, contemporary ideas, different cultures that are coming together. And I think that's what makes lines and the projects that Alonzo takes interesting.
Yes.
To us as an audience.
Yes, it's absolutely. I always adore his works as well. His dancers amazing because I find there's a two wave of dancers, especially for ballet, and One's very classical trained. You do Swan like Sleeping Beauty, very basic, classical pure trained. Other dancers are more like you see on TV. You think you can dance?
Right.
There's a lot of natural movers. They can move, but they had a very little serious training, but they can move.
Right.
But his dancer can do both.
Yeah.
They had a classical, beautiful foundation. Every time you feet out, legs out, it's beautiful. At the same time, they can move whatever they want, and it just broadened his vocabulary because it has such a freedom in their body, expressive.
That freedom, I think that's really what you see when you see the company moving, is that sense of freedom, along with that sense of breath. There's a great analogy that Alonzo made. He was talking about tendu, and tendu, it's not just about presenting the foot or making the line, but it actually has to do, he calls it rays. He calls it the rays of sunlight. And you really see that when the dancers move, that there's such a connection from their core movement, and it expresses in such a way that it is almost as if there's a light that's coming away from the dancers.
Yes.
And again, I think that idea blends so well with the projects that he takes on, because that connection we can all understand. We can all understand a ray of light. We can all understand movement that has meaning behind it, and that expression that we as professors try and get out of our dancers.
Yes, every day. Yes.
But also, there's an emotion that's attached to that movement that you don't have to be a dancer to understand. That you can just understand that sensibility and that sensitivity, just as being a regular person.
Yes.